So a couple things here to hit. Pretty interesting.
Oh,
First
wow,
off,
I'm gonna get
really
serious
great.
all of a sudden, man.
No, I'm not getting serious. This is great.
Spoil the party. Go ahead.
All right, let's keep going, man. Let's go, man.
Yeah, man. Do your thing, Rob.
So Damar Hamlin got released from the hospital. He's out.
Yeah,
Great.
He's been discharged from the Buffalo hospital.
Yes.
He's going to start just doing, rehab work with the Bills, like straight rehab work. He passed every test. This is crazy, man. I mean, it's only been 9 days.
Yep.
Yes.
9 days.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So he went through all his testing in Cincinnati. They transferred him to a hospital in Buffalo, went through all his testing there at Buffalo General. Totally stable. Everything's good to go. Boom. He's out. He is out, man. Joined by his parents, his 7-year-old brother. And he's good. He's good. So he's going to start rehabbing, and who knows what the future holds, man. But the bottom line is it looks like he's going to be able to have a normal life. So that's really all that matters.
I wonder if he's going to be able to play ball again.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, the guy who played for Chris Pronger, he played an additional 12 years after what he went through back in 1998. You know, took a puck to the chest and dropped, and he played 12 more years after that. So, everybody's different. Just think about this. 9 days ago, this dude had to be resuscitated not once, but twice. Okay. Heart stopped twice on his way to the hospital. 9 days later, he's walking out clean bill of health.
Incredible.
That's a miracle.
It is a miracle. It is. I mean, it really, we talk about football plays being miracles. This is a miracle, man.
What?
So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So that's great. And that news just keeps getting better and better and better as far as that goes.
Man. It does.
Couple other things. The NFL first team All Pros have been released. Now, this is a big time honor. It's different than the Pro Bowl, and I know people get it confused, and it can be confusing for sure. Like, I get it. But this is a biggie, man. So let's run through it, guys, and you tell me what you think here, okay? And who got in, who didn't get in, et cetera. And let's start. Well, why don't we do this? Let's start with the Eagles who got in. So Jason Kelce is the first team center. Lane Johnson, first team tackle. And Darius Slay, first team cornerback. Okay.
Wow.
So you got 3 Eagles on the team. So let's run through it. Quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Running back, Josh Jacobs. Fullback, Kyle Juszczyk from San Francisco. Your receivers are Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Tight ends, Travis Kelce. Your left tackle's Trent Williams. Your left guard is Joel Bitonio, who plays for Cleveland. Jason Kelce's the center. Right guard is Zach Martin from Dallas. Right tackle's Lane Johnson. Pretty cool. You got 2 Kelce brothers on first team offense. Imagine being their parents. That is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
That is crazy.
And both will probably be Hall of Famers.
I think they both are.
Most definitely.
Your edge guys are Nick Bosa from San Francisco, Myles Garrett from Cleveland. Your interior defensive linemen are Chris Jones from Kansas City, Aaron Donald from the Rams. Your nose tackles, Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. Your off-ball linebackers, Fred Warner from the 49ers, Roquan Smith from the Ravens. Your corners are Patrick Surtain II from Denver, Darius Slay from the Eagles. Your free safeties, Micah Fitzpatrick. Your strong safety is Derwin James. I would say hard to debate a lot of these. I would say one that leaps out to me, Aaron Donald got in on reputation.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't earn it this year.
Of course. Popularity contest.
Yep. He didn't earn it this year. If I had an Eagles beef, I would say, Hassan Reddick, you could make a case for him. Javon Hargrave, you can make a case for him.
I agree. When I looked at and compared the numbers, obviously Bosa slam dunk, 18.5 sacks.
Yep.
Myles Garrett tied Reddick with 16 sacks. Myles Garrett had 60 total tackles, Reddick 49. Garrett had 18 tackles for losses, Reddick 11. But, a good friend of ours who was a former coworker of ours, and ever since she told me this, I said, wow. She is part of the group from NFL Films that goes around these NFL teams to get these players in the locker room to vote for Pro Bowl and All Pro. And the numbers are skewed in a lot of ways because some teams hardly vote. They'll leave the ballot sitting in the locker room and they'll just sit there for days. So some teams barely vote. You have to really prod them to vote. Other teams, jump on the opportunity to vote for their guys. Now, for the players who get voted, it's huge because most of them, obviously, I know all the contracts, but most of them get a big bump in terms of bonus money for making first team All-Pro, as well as making the Pro Bowl. So that's huge for them. But Aaron Donald, popularity contest, first and foremost.
I agree.
The biggest one I have a problem with is cornerback. Sauce Gardner does not get on there. Really? He should have been on there before Surtain and Darius Slay.
Great.
There's no question about that. No question.
Is that rookie lack of respect there? Is that what that is?
Yes,
that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
Well, let me say this. I was with NFL Films for 5 years. And during the time I was there, I went out and did the Pro Bowl voting maybe 3 times. And they would send me to I remember going to Cincinnati. And I go in, I'd have to talk to guys, and I'd get maybe 15 guys to go ahead and vote. Just 15.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 53 guys. 15 guys to vote. And I would come back and they'd be like, man, you got 15? Shoot, we've been averaging 5.
Yep.
So it's more so a popularity contract. And I'm telling them, oh, man, don't vote for this guy because he's going to get in over this guy over here.
Yep.
So, that's hard to really get an accurate assessment on that stuff, So you have to deal with people outside of your peers to see who really wins.
Yeah.
I mean, look, getting 3 is nothing to sneeze at, man. Getting Kelsey and Lane Johnson and Slay is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Right.
In and of itself. Look, I think you could had Jalen not gotten hurt for the last couple of games, and then whatever Sunday was where they were kind of playing conservative. I think he's in an argument, but I can't beef with Patrick Mahomes. No issue with that whatsoever.
No.
I look at some of these other guys. I mean, Josh Jacobs had an incredible year. I'm not saying Miles Sanders would have been in the mix. I'm just saying in terms of debating whoever. I think for the most part they got it right. Again, and Hargrave getting double-digit sacks from the tackle position is really impressive. And Hassan Reddick, not only the sacks guys, the forced fumbles.
Well,
he had 5 forced fumbles.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hassan Reddick, he picked it up later, mid to late season. So that might have been, what really kept him from getting that notoriety, because once you get going and you get people to notice you during the season, you know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the season, they start riding your name and listen to your name. Since he started a little later, those first 3 games were tough for him.
Yeah.
After that, he started really getting it up, you know what I'm saying? And he got comfortable with the system. And, I think next year is when he's going to get his big to-do. Everybody's going to know who Hassan Reddick is after, not after this year. You know what I'm saying? Because more so, it's a name recognition thing more so than anything. It's not really – these guys aren't really looking at the film. Now, the players are looking at the film.
Right.
But everybody else is not really looking at the film. He is more of a player now than you take all the 3 years before then, because he has put pass rush moves on top of pass rush moves. He now is a complete player. He plays the run, gets to the field, make sure he turns things back in. He plays at an effort, man. You just get on this level, and it's making everybody else get on this level on the defensive line. He's creating things for others on the team. That's when you know you're a big-time guy, when you're creating matchups for other people on the D-line. That's exactly what he's doing. He's getting the one-on-one. He's allowing others to get the one-on-one blocks while he's getting double, triple team and chipper sent his way.
He should have got his respect based on the fact he's got double-digit sacks, 3 different teams in consecutive years.
Yeah.
Now, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, does he get hurt that he did it with 3 different teams? He shouldn't.
He should get accolades for that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I'll tell you, I was worried about that, the way the Eagles were going to use him before the season. And it's,
that was the problem. That was the big problem. Aaron's like, well, how are you going to use him? How are you going to set it up? And I can remember saying, all right, what are they going to do? They're going to line him up a linebacker, then have him blitz this place and that place. And I remember saying, I sat back and I looked at the film of the first game. I said, you know what? They just got to put him somewhere and just leave him there and let him pass rush from that position. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, they said, you know what? And that's exactly what they did. We're just going to leave him over the right tackle and let him go. And he has played lights out ever since then. You didn't need to put him. You didn't need to make him put him in a position to go out there and rush the passer. Mm-hmm. Just put him one place and let him go. Just say, go hunt. You know what I'm saying? Go get him. And once they did that, he just stays right there over that right tackle. He has been killing folks.
Yeah, he has.
Killing folks.
He really has.
I tell you who else had a pretty good argument to get in as an All-Pro. How about A.J. Brown?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. A.J. finished 4th in receiving yards. Now, the top 6 receivers, 5 of the top 6 receivers in the NFL all had 100 or more receptions this year. A.J. finished 4th in receiving with 88 catches, number 1. A.J. led receivers with 17 yards per catch average. And he had 11 touchdowns compared to Jefferson had 8. Now, Devontae Adams, 14. Okay. Jefferson averaged 14.1 yards per catch, Devontae 15.2. But even more so, how in the world do you leave Tyreek Hill out? He's as well known as anybody. Tyreek Hill was number 2 in receiving yards, 14.47 touchdowns. How in the world do you leave Tyreek off this list?
Touchdowns.
Yeah. Touchdowns hurt him.
It was only 7. He had 7 compared to the other guys that got in.
He just got those. He just got like 3 more within the past 2 or 3 weeks. Because he had been around 4 for like 6 weeks. He had like 4 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
4 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Eric Winters. Why not Jalen Rager?
Yeah, he did get robbed. I mean, have you guys looked at his numbers?
Who? Rager's?
Yeah.
No.
I try
do you want to hear them?
Oh yeah. I gotta hear this.
Okay. So he played in all 17 games. Okay. He ends up with 25 receiving yards. 6.3 yards per catch.
Oh my goodness.
And 1 receiving touch. No, actually no receiving touchdown.
Jeez.
Come on, don't say that, bro.
So
how many yards?
25.
25 total yards. How many catches?
He ends up. It's hard to. I don't know. So he had let's see, 8 catches. 8 catches. I'm sorry, I'm off a little bit. 8 catches, 104 yards.
Oh, okay, 104 yards. Oh, yeah. Wow. How many yards per catch is that?
It's not bad actually. 13 per catch.
No, don't say it's not bad. It is bad. That's god awful. Man.
8 catches. It's less than a half a catch per game. But anyway,
that's hard to do, man. It's hard.
It is hard to do. It is hard.
He was a star.
He didn't start for them. No,
well, he played a lot though. He did play a lot.
He got some time. Yeah, I mean, he was mostly their punt returner, but anyway, yeah, that's a mess. But yeah, so that's who ends up getting in. Jake Elliott gets an accolade. Eagles have won a ton of these this year. He got the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. He hit 5 field goals. It's the 3rd time he's won it. They got a really good kicker, man. You know, I mean, that's a nice thing. One of the things you don't worry about going into the playoffs. I feel good about him in a big spot.
He's so accurate and so consistent. When he misses one, it's like the wind's been sucked out of you because you're not used to him missing.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
It's funny. It's a big story when he misses a kick.
Right.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like Turner in Baltimore when he missed a kick. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
He missed.
That's one of the surprises that he wasn't the kicker.
The kicker. Yeah.
Yeah. He was. It's a guy in Seattle, but yeah. Tucker's the man.
I think kick returner and punt returner were a joke. The kick returner was Cordarrelle Patterson down in Atlanta. He had 9 returns for 284 yards. Green Bay's Keyshawn Nixon, 17 returns for 1,009 yards. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, you're right. That's a
joke.
That's a joke. You're right. That dude is the most dangerous kick returner in the game, and it's not even close.
No question. There's no question about that, man. In fact, instead of Cordell Patterson, I'd have picked the kid from Dallas before I did that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know I hate Dallas.
Yeah, well, the kid for Dallas was the punt returner, Kevontae Turpin. He had, I just had it here. He had 29 returns for 303 yards, which was only 9th best in the league. This kid, Marcus Jones from New England, 29 returns for 362 yards.
He's really good. Yep, he's really you're right. There's like 3-4 guys you could have chosen ahead of him.
And one other guy who got jobbed, I think, is Judon from New England.
Yeah,
the season he had
a great year. Yep.
But again, it's a popularity name recognition contest.
But that's like total production when you think a guy like Judon, because he's not just a pass rusher. He's not just a run stopper. He does everything very, very well. They put him in awkward positions, and he's still able to go out there and make things happen.
Yep.
You got to put him up there with the tops. But I mean, how do you say Nick Bosa doesn't belong there?
Yeah, it's hard to bump the guys who are there.
It's
like
hard.
I can't, like I said, I think those guys are worthy.
Absolutely.
Myles Garrett, how do you argue against Myles Garrett? You know?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you say?
Huh?
What do you say? What do you say when you say he didn't belong there? All right, he missed 2 games because he was in a car accident. Is that why you do it?
I mean, yeah. What are you going to do? I mean,
I hear you.
We all have our favorites, and and that's why we debate these things, because, like you said, Rob, most of it makes sense. But when you look at certain things like, the kick returner, the punt returner, Aaron Donald getting on the list. How do you leave Tyreek Hill off? Wait a minute. What about A.J. Brown, who was 4th in the league with 88 catches compared to everybody else in the top 5 or 6 over 100 catches? It's a great conversation.
No doubt. And that's why, they do it. We debate it. That's why. Sixers won. How about this stat, guys? So Joel Embiid last night, 36 points, 11 rebounds in 23 minutes and 56 seconds.
Jeez.
He's the first player in NBA history to post at least 35 points, 10 rebounds in fewer than 25 minutes.
Jeez.
His 36 points are the most ever scored by a Sixers player in 25 or fewer minutes. That's unbelievable, man.
Especially AI.
Will Chamberlain play for this organization? Julius Erving, Charles Barkley, AI. That is.
What did he do? Just bucket hang and everybody threw the ball down the court to him?
I'm taking nothing away from the Sixers because they played really well. That Pistons team
is
maybe the worst team I've ever seen. Like, it's close.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you guys. They're not even like G League worthy. Like, I don't think they'd win the G League.
They're playing the hinky.
Yeah, they're playing the hinky game. They're playing the process game right now. And I don't think it's good for the game. I'm glad the Sixers won. Like, don't get me wrong. And they've played much better basketball lately. It's just the major question here is what the level of competition. They've won 7 of their last 10, and we'll get into the Sixers more later. But the good thing is Harden is really clicking right now, and Embiid's really clicking right now, and Maxey is getting there. He's not quite all the way to himself yet, but he's not far either. So
right.
That's the really good signs. And you know what? In the absence of Embiid, Montrezl Harrell and B-Ball Paul and some of those guys have gotten opportunities, and I think showing you that they're worthy of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I hope at least Doc thinks they're worthy of minutes. So we'll see.
Bro, it's at the end of the day, man. This team, they're a good team, but are they able to get through the East?
That's it.
It's still it's still such a good. I mean, it used to be the West, now it's the East, man. We got power here, man. We got some powerhouses here. You go back 4 years ago, everything was like, talking about Lakers and Golden State and even the Suns. Now, I mean, all the powerhouse teams are on the East Coast now. I mean, all of them are.
Listen, I'm with you. I am 100% with you. It's all going to come down to, it's all well and good, and I give them props. They're playing really well. But it's all going to, with this team, we're at that juncture where it's all about the playoffs.
Well,
that's it.
We're like 4 now. We're behind even Cleveland right now, right?
They're 4. Yeah, no, they're slightly ahead of Cleveland. Like they're both. Sixers are 25-15. Cleveland's 26-16. So they're ahead of Cleveland right now. They have the Celtics, the Nets, and the Bucks in front of them. So the Sixers are only 3.5 back from the top spot. They're not far off. And Brooklyn's without Durant right now. He's going to be out about a month.
Wow.
So you can make up some ground there if they start to come back to earth a little bit. They played unbelievable basketball. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The Flyers, they're playing tonight. They host the Capitals, Ovechkin and the Capitals. I wanted to hit you guys with this. We got James Palmer coming up, but actually, I want to save this because I think there's a little bit more meat on that bone, and we'll get into coming up at 1:00. So let's get a timeout and let's talk to James Palmer from the NFL Network, all things Eagles and NFL when we come back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, we're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. I'm going to tell you about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. I can tell you from my own personal experience, I had a tough time finding the right person to trust with my finances. And when I found Jim, it was a godsend, and it will be for you as well. If you're out there, you're not really sure what direction to go. Jim is great as a sounding board for anything, any type of investment, anything you're looking at, changes you want to make, etc. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, you have a small business and you need help setting up your employee benefits, Jim can help you with all those kind of things. I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers with Jim, and I couldn't be any happier. You will be as well. Give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751. You could email him as well, Murray, Murray.Jim@principal.com. That's Murray.Jim@principal.com.